story with regards to your NCLEX, Gerard. Can you walk us through why did you decide that you are going to go to Australia instead of going in another country, say Canada, USA? Why did you have that in mind?
First of all, thank you very much, Sir Georgie and Ma'am Rachel, for having me this afternoon. So why is this the feeling that I got now is just the same with way back when I am doing my OSCE exam. I feel nervous. Is it because I see Sir Georgie again? Anyway, so when I started this journey to come here in Australia, actually, my brother really asked me to go here in Australia. So he's also a registered nurse here, but his pathway was different from me because he was the bridging program. So he was a registered nurse, and then he asked me to go here in Australia to be a registered nurse as well. Same with his work. But I said to him that maybe I don't need to go to Australia because in the Philippines, way back in the Philippines, I have a nice job that pays me well, a stable job as well, together with my family and my wife. My job is just near to our home place. Yeah. So it is very convenient. The comfort is there for me, so that's why I decided to myself that I don't need to go abroad to Australia, to Canada, or to US anymore. So in my first plan, why that is the reason why I became a nurse in the first place, because I want to go to abroad. But eventually time passed by. Yeah. So because of I have my stable job, yeah, I decided to just stay. Maybe I will just stay in the Philippines. And then, yeah, that's the time when my brother told me that you have to be here in Australia. You have to be a registered nurse in Australia. I know that you have a good job there in the Philippines, but I promised you that if you will become a registered nurse here in Australia, it will be very different. The lifestyle, the life. Actually, his term is life here in Australia is very different compared to the Philippines, especially if you are a nurse. So that is his words. And then, yeah, I thought a bit of maybe more than a week or a month before I decided to before I decided to go to or to start my journey. And then by that time, I don't have any idea on what is my pathway or what to do, how to start, where to start. So he helped me. So actually we went to a different processing institutions. We asked for them for their guidance. We asked for how to start, and then they replied. Actually, they replied, but we wait, and then we check for the best offer and the best record for the passing rate. And then there I found out the IPASS. So I started with the IPASS. So I think Mom Rachel was graduated in San Pedro College. Is that right, Mom Rachel?
Yes, I am an alumna.
Yeah.
alumna.
If it is okay to ask what year, because I was also from San Pedro College way back 2010.
Oh, this is interesting, Georgie, because we graduated on the same years. What section are you, Sir Gerard?
Section
I
J.
am in B and F, and yeah, only in F.
I
Because
started.
Georgie, way back in college, there is a sectioning. We have like section B, C, something like that. We have these Roman alphabets, and then I belong to section F. And San Pedro College is just a very small, but I wasn't able to meet you. Maybe you haven't met me as well.
Yeah, so when I saw you on the iPass, I said that you're very familiar. That's why I checked part of my background check. I'm sorry. Yeah, so that's when I found out that you also came from San Pedro College. Yes, sir. Mom Rachel was right. San Pedro College is just a square type of school, and the open area is only on the middle part of the school. That's it. There's no other place you can go in San Pedro.
It
But
must be a really good college looking at both of you. You both have become high achievers.
yeah, I can say that San Pedro College is one of the best nursing school here in the Philippines. So when I found out the IPASS, yeah, it is also convenient for me because they also have an office there in Davao City where I resided. So Yeah, it was, I think I started last October 2022. That was the first, that's still on my phone. The first time that I approached IPASS, I asked for them on how to do the NCLEX, you know. So I was very hesitant that time because that was already October 2022, and I graduated nursing way back 2010. So that the time, and from that 2010 to 2022, I didn't work in the hospital, actually, with a nursing profession, but not inside the hospital. Outside the hospital, technically, because I work in the emergency medical service in Davao City, in Davao City 911. So that is my work experience there. Before I worked in 911, after I passed in the Philippine nursing exam, I work also still in EMS, but here in the Samal Island. It is an island across Davao City. Still pre-hospital settings in the ambulance, and then I transferred to Davao 911. And then after that, my last job before I went here in Australia is in the Bureau of Fire Protection, or you know that I was a firefighter
Oh my
for
God.
7 years. For 7 years, but still we work outside the hospital, so we're in the ambulance, responding to any calls for emergency cases. Yeah, maybe that's one of the reason why I accepted this interview, because I want to show to some nurses that we can unlock this OBA pathway even if we are not having a clinical, or you know, inside the hospital experience. Because personally, for me, my last hospital experience was way back, I think 2010 or 2011. But good thing, even though I am not in the hospital, outside the hospital, but still I practice my nursing profession. When I asked for my documents, luckily all the documents that they asked, I already have those. I prepared it and then I submitted to IPASS. Yeah, the IPASS was very helpful because what I did was just to give the documents to them, and then they are the one to process the documents, to process my NCLEX application, and then yeah, I'll just wait until IPASS told me that I have my authority to test for the
Yeah.
NCLEX, and then to select for my schedule. Yeah, so that was my start of my journey when I decided to go in Australia. So the next part was my review on NCLEX. So that's the time that my difficulties in this OBA journey started. Because again, when I started to review with my NCLEX, I only have 2 months to prepare for NCLEX. On no, maybe 3 months, 2 to 3 months, because I have my exam on May, and then I started my real, I call it real review, March. Yeah, so that is, I have my March and April for the exam. So what I did was I enrolled to IPASS review and mentoring program with their NCLEX, and then I just watched all the videos in IPASS during the NCLEX, same with what I did to the NAI during the OSCE review before I went to Australia to do the face to face. Way back in the Philippines, I also watched the video. So maybe that is my blueprint on how to on how to unlock this OBA. So what I did was to in NCLEX is I just watched the video. My problem in review is my time, because I have my work. Yeah, I have my work 3 days straight. That is 24 hours for 3 days straight. And then after that, I have also my 3 days of duty. So on my off duty, I cannot focus on my review. It's because I have my kids, I have my family way back home. So actually, I have 3 kids. The eldest one was 3 years old, a girl, and then the youngest was a twin. They're twins, two boys, 1 year, and they will turn 2 years this April. So imagine I have three toddlers.
If I had a hat, I would have taken it off to you now.
We called it Toddlerosaurus Rex, three T-Rex in the house. So I cannot imagine, I cannot perform, or I cannot focus on my review in the house because I have to play with them. I have to take care of them together with my wife and my parents as well. So what I did is I focused my time to have my review during my duties, or during my working time. So every time this is my working hours, my duty days, I always pray. I hope and I pray that there is no fire, there is no response, there is no call this time, so that I can do my review or whatever. I can maximize this time to review for NCLEX. Yeah, so that's what I did. I did during the month of March. So month of March is very busy in the fire protection service. It's because that is the fire prevention month. So yeah, that adds to my challenge, in doing the review. So after that whole month, what I did in the whole month is just to watch the review, watch the video, and then review all the nursing skills. No, not skills, nursing theories during the NCLEX. So I wrote down what are the nursing theories, the cardio, the what are the most important nursing theories. I wrote down and then I watched all the videos with that. So I reviewed, I watched it, and then luckily for me, I have already refreshed my stack up knowledge during the nursing college years. And then on the time of April, what I did was to just do the review practice test only. No more videos, no more reviews online. What I did is to just repeat practice test day after day after day. Yeah, every day practice test. So what I used was UWorld. Can I speak UWorld here? What I used was UWorld. I used the UWorld, and then yeah, for me it was very effective because I love their type of exam. I was shocked actually because the whole April I did the UWorld, and then on the exam day, the specific exam day, is just like I was still doing the review in the UWorld because UWorld was just the same. The computer format, the what will you see on the U world is just the same on the NCLEX exam day. So I didn't have any difficulties in adjusting myself to the exam. Yeah, so that was only my technique way back on my NCLEX day. I was very nervous that time during my exam on my NCLEX because the first thing in my mind is I don't have any experience. I have difficulty. What if the exam questions will ask about nursing or hospital clinical settings, about this, about that. So good thing that all the things that I did during the review, the videos, the theories coming from the IPASS mentoring. Yeah, thank you, sir, so for the IPASS. And on my practice exam, mock exam with the U World, during my exam, yeah, it helps me a lot. Maybe I can say that because of that, what I did, the video from IPASS, the nursing theory, and then the practice tests from the U World, I can say that that really helps me to pass the NCLEX exam. And then here comes the exam day. So after 2 days, APRA emailed me that I passed the exam. I was very happy. The happiness. Maybe I can say that one of the most I can explain the feeling that I passed the NCLEX. When I passed the NCLEX, I said to myself that I will now go to Australia because that is one thing that I prayed to God. Please give me sign if you will give this to me. If I pass this exam, maybe this is for me. So one thing that I also recommend to all is to pray hard during this journey because we cannot do anything if we will not pray for it. And then I passed for NCLEX, and then I thought that it was the biggest achievement in my life. But then here comes the OSCE. The happiness. The happiness that I felt very big. I thought this very big. The I get example is like this, and then the OSCE is just that very big. Because that time I don't have any idea of OSCE, what is OSCE. So yeah, so that's my NCLEX journey. Thank you very much, IPASS, for the help.
Walking us through on your NCLEX journey. So it was really very exciting. And actually, one of the common things that we are actually seeing right now is that a lot of passers, Georgie, coming from our students as well, are those who are not actually working in the hospital setup. A lot of
Yeah.
them are part-timers, even 64 years old. There are students that we are catering like that, 60 years old. Those are not who are working in the clinical setup. But even though they're not working in the clinical setup, they are still able to make it happen.
Yeah.
So the thing and the message that we want to inform to you guys is that we want you to remember is that regardless of your experience, may it be a hospital or it can be advantageous if you're working at the hospital, but it's never impossible that you can make it on your NCLEX, may it be USA or Australia, so long as you prepared well on your NCLEX examination. So thank
Yeah.
you for sharing that information and thank you for sharing that motivation to those who are watching us live here, Sir Gerard. I feel very happy because we come from the same institution. And it was very interesting to know as well that you just decided on going to Australia because it was coming from your brother who convinced you to go there.
Yeah.
So after that you are done with your NCLEX application through IPASS and the review program through IPASS Honor Review and Mentoring Academy, here comes another challenge now. The bigger challenge that, as you described, is a bigger challenge, bigger than the NCLEX. So how are you able to discover Nurses International?
I need to answer that question. We got a call from his brother. His brother was the one who did all the basic research. So I remember Pretty telling me that Gerard's brother was the first one to initiate contact, and then he kept calling Pretty, messaging Pretty, Anusha. He asked them inside out of everything, and then he was worried about the visa part. So I think Pretty suggested that since you're from IPASS, why don't you trust IPASS with everything? So then Gerard's brother decided, okay, that's what we're gonna do, and then so it's a circle, you know. It went in a circle, and he finally made it to us. Okay, Jared, let's hear it from you. You're very good at telling stories.
It's like what, sir? It's like doing the pain management station. Okay, so yeah, so that is, I think that's the one thing that I love from IPASS. Actually, I always tell this to some nurses that ask me what did I do during the OBA, where did I go for help or ask for help for the processing, especially for the NCLEX. Always I told them the IPASS. So yeah, one thing that I love the IPASS during the NCLEX is that their services is, step by step. I mean, you know what I mean. It's like when you ask them to process you for the NCLEX, after you pass for the NCLEX, your engagement to them is just finished after you pass the NCLEX. So it's up to you if you will ask again to IPASS to assist you again for the next step, which is the OSCE. Unlike with others, is you will be locked in as a package from start to finish. So you have no freedom to check for other opportunities and or to other institution. So that's why I love their style to do that. It's very good personally from me because I have the freedom to check other. So it is very good. So yeah, so that's the time that when Pretty Mom and my brother talked, and then they asked me to start the review. So what I did was I asked for the IPASS again, and then yeah, after my NCLEX that was finished, and then I asked them again to continue the processing to the next stage. So they processed my visa and then my application to the Nurse Assist International for my review. And yeah, so the next challenge for me, Mom Rachel was right. I thought NCLEX was the optimum happiness, the success. But then again, here comes OSCE. I didn't cry in in NCLEX. I have sleepless nights, but I didn't cry in NCLEX. But in OSCE, honestly, I cried in OSCE. You know, later maybe I will share why.
Tell you, there's a funny thing, Rachel. The first thing he did out when he came for face to face, he took a photo with Pretty, and he said, "This is to show my brother that I was in body and spirit in NAI doing the Oscar review." I remember that. It's the photo that we have put it on the Facebook.
Georgie, more confidence that, oh, I'm in the best review center for the OSCE. Definitely, I'm going to pass my OSCE.
Definitely. I mean, his benchmarking is IPASS. Now he's benchmarked the services and the tuition that you guys have given him. So when it comes to us, he has that benchmarking. So the onus is on us. The pressure is on us to deliver now, to make sure that he has another optimum success, just like he had his NCLEX. So yeah, the pressure is on. Yeah, go on, Jared.
Well, actually, sir, during review, the pressure is on me. It's because if you can remember during the review when Pretty Mom had his face-to-face discussion, and then there was a time that she asked for some questions, and then I don't know why she told me because I did a really good job to, to not
Hide
being
yourself.
seen during question and answer. But, or maybe she was looking for me and then she asked me some question. Yeah, she asked me and said, Gerard, and then she asked me the question. And after asking me the question, she added that you have to answer this correctly or else I will call your brother that you are, you didn't. Yeah, so I was very pressured that time, but it was good because all the students in NAI were guided properly on how to do and what to do correctly during the OSCE exam. During my OSCE, the first thing that stopped me from moving forward or to fast track the process is number one is the funds actually because we maybe all can say that OSCE is not just a joke, not in terms of exam alone but also in the funds. You will spend a lot of money during this OSCE journey. So that's the one thing that I can say why OSCE is very difficult, or I can say very challenging, not only for the exam alone, the skills alone, but it includes the funds that you have to prepare, and then it includes the commitment that you have to put on this journey. Why? Because first thing, when you decided that you will take the OSCE exam, the decision will includes that you have to left the country, you have to left your family behind. For me, in the Philippines, I have to go in Australia because there is no other venue for exam in OSCE is only in Australia. On our time, only in Adelaide. Georgie sir said that's the OSCE festival in Adelaide. That's the only festival in Adelaide. Okay, so yeah, so that's the thing that I can say to myself that I really have difficulty doing the OSCE. It's because of the idea that you will left your family and then you will go to Australia and then you have to prepare these funds not alone that you will pay the OSCE exam, but you have the review. Of course you have to pay for the review, and then you have to pay for your accommodation
Accommodation.
in, yeah, in Australia. Also your fare, your ticket, your plane ticket, and as well as your food there. So it is not a joke that you will prepare this kind of amount. But good thing that we're in a good hands, guiding us on how to be as successful in this OSCE exam. That's the thing. So for my personal experience, it was very risky for me because not only that I left my family in the Philippines, I also resigned from my work actually. So that is why it was very hard for me to do or to pass this OSCE because the burden that I had during this moment is very big for me. I can say that if those were not present, the burden of the risk that I left the Philippines, or I left my family, or I left my job. If those factors were not in present, maybe I can focus more on OSCE, and then I can see that I can really pass this OSCE. But because of that additional challenges and additional risk that I took, it adds on my pressure during the OSCE time. So good thing, but still what I did was to pray to God to help me, to guide me on this journey. And then it is very nice that I am guided all throughout my OSCE. And then when I came to Australia, the country showed you what really Australia is. Honestly speaking, it is very, very, very far from the place that I came. So that's again added to my pressure. You know why? It's because I saw Australia. this is Australia. It is very beautiful place. It is very beautiful country. So there is a chance that I can live here together with my family. But you have to pass OSCE first to achieve that goal. So what if, on my mind, what if I only experience this for myself as a tourist during the time that I am here for OSCE? What if there is a chance that my family cannot go here in Australia, because of this exam, because of OSCE? So the pressure again added to me, because I really, when I came to Australia, I saw the country very, very nice, very good for family. And then I really love my family to go here, to live here, and then, but you have to pass OSCE first. So I have, I think, a week or 2 weeks before my face-to-face started. So we went to different places in Australia. You know the feeling that you are a tourist, because actually you're a tourist here taking the OSCE, but when you feel the happiness that you saw the place, and then I was very happy. Oh, this is nice. This is my first time seeing these things, but suddenly the OSCE, the happiness is there, and then the OSCE will go in front. It says that you don't have any right yet to become happy, because you are not here to experience these things, but you are here in Australia to pass the OSCE. That is my thinking. That is my way of thinking before OSCE that time. So after going to that places, I will go back to our house, and then open my laptop again, and then watch another video in night, the recorded video, and then just to calm myself, because during that time is I think the only thing that calm myself is to watch the video, recorded video with regards to different skills. So what I did was I already have my script before I went to Australia, because in the Philippines I started my review already in the OSCE. I wrote my personal script. I watched the specific video, and then I wrote step by step my script, and then I memorized it. But the feeling of this is not yet the full script. Then that I realized during the face to face, because I can say that the full version of the review is when you had your face to face, because you had your final script or final skills or steps that you have to learn before going to the exam. Actually, I was in Adelaide group, because I cannot join the Melbourne and the Sydney group, because for me it was too early for me. So I only have 3 months on my visitor's visa. And then so I decided to go on the Adelaide group. So Adelaide group actually started November 6 up to 10. And then our exam was November 20. So I decided to do the Adelaide group. And then, so yeah, imagine you have November 6 to 10 schedule of the face-to-face. And then after the 10 up to the November 20 is your exam. So you only have 10 days. Yeah, you only have 10 days to practice and to master all the skills. Even if you have only 10 stations in the actual exam, but the skills that you need to practice is more than 10, because you don't know what specific skills in each station that will come out. So you have to prepare all of them. So during our exam, good thing that Georgie, sir, and Pretty Mom really helped us and guide us during our review. So we considered the Adelaide group as Adelaide family, actually. So we have friends in Adelaide team, not only Filipino to Filipino, but also to other students in NICE that are not Filipinos. They are also very nice. So that also helps us a lot in passing this OSCE. So during our review, we started our practice at around lunchtime, and then we ended up 2 in the morning. So we used to do that every day. It is very nice that you have your classmates in that room, because every time that you have the feeling that I really want to go home to just rest and to have a sleep, but every time you will arrange your things, your bag to go home, and then you see your classmates beside you practicing very hard. So what I did was, okay, I will just put this. I will extend at least 1 hour, maybe 1 hour, and then until 2 a.m. in the morning. So there was a time that the morning group arrived, and then we will still there in the lab practicing. So that's the time that, oh, they're already here, the morning group. We are in the PM group actually in the practice. So we ended until 12 midnight only, but we extended up to 2 a.m. So okay, maybe this is the time that we need to go home and then just to rest and then go back tomorrow. So that's our routine. We just follow what Nai instructed us to do, the steps, the script, and skills that they taught us. We just followed it, and then yeah. So until the time that our mock test was scheduled. So I have also very good experience on my mock test because during my mock test schedule, I was absent on my, I was not there on my mock test exam. I was just in the house reading my skills because there was a confusion on my schedule. I thought my schedule was on the other day, and then it turns out that my schedule was today. So they are looking for me. It was already 5 p.m. in the afternoon, and then they were looking for me in the lab. I was not there. I was just in the house. That's why my friend called me. Where are you? Why? I'm here in the house. Why? What's the problem? Georgie sir is looking for you. Where are you? It is your schedule now today for your mock exam. I said, what? So good thing that my apartment that time was only, I think, 5 minute walk. So from there, I ran to the lab for my mock exam, and then when I saw them inside, I feel the pressure and the stress inside the room because that was the first day of the mock exam. It is very common to have that feeling. During my first station, it was a disaster. It was a disaster during my first station. Actually, my first station was IV priming. So it was Gita mom. Gita mom. I didn't have the chance to go back to the patient to give the IV because I was having trouble with my preparations and computations, some stuff like that. And then that's the time that I found out my number one enemy during the exam, which is my nervousness. The pressure that I feel during the time of my performance, during my when I perform the station. I feel so nervous. It was like I didn't have any time to prepare. I didn't have any. I did not review. I did not prepare for this. The feeling of that. But actually, I did all the reviews and all, but still on the time of my mock test, I can't perform well because of I feel so nervous. Gita mom said, "What happened to you, Gerard? Okay, you stop." Mom, I can finish this. No, your time is up. Your time is up now. You will not you will not proceed. And then I feel so depressed that time. I think to myself that maybe I cannot do this exam. And then the next thing was the station of Gita Mom. It was wound dressing, and still the same comment. Gita Mom said that I know that you already know what to do, but your problem is your nervousness. You are very tense. You are not relaxed. Maybe you will go to a GP and ask for medication to relax yourself. Yeah, I thought of that because Gita Mom says to me that you can go to GP to ask from some medication to relax, and then 2 days before the exam, I really thought of that to go to GP to ask for some medication to help me relax. But that experience during my mock exam, during with Gita Mom and Pretty Mom, very helped me a lot because during the exact moment of my OSCE, during my station on the IV priming, the only thing first comes to my mind during the IV station was the time that I had with Gita Mom during my mock exam. So I failed on first. I will never fail this time because there is no second chance for me. Unlike on mock test that I can still study, I can still improve, but this time there is no more second chance, as well as on the wound dressing.
One of the things that I have observed with Sir Gerard, Georgie, is that I think that the pressure is coming from that knowledge at the back of his mind that I'm just here having a tourist visa, and I need to be able to pass this OSCE, or else I'll be back to my family and I cannot bring my
Yeah.
family there. There's a lot of investment that was involved here, and if I will not be able to make it on this OSCE, like I will feel that I will be a failure. I think that's the most terrifying thing that was in your mind back then. And that's the reason why you feel very tense, despite the
Yeah.
fact that you have already mastered those theory and those skills. But then your emotion is just too much disturbing you. And that's the reason why you feel like you are having mental block on this.
Yeah.
So with these kinds of students that you have, Georgie, how is NAI helping the students with regards to
Rachel,
this attachment?
we try to help them in every possible way. Now, from the beginning, what Jared said, when students say that I don't have clinical experience, I've never worked in the hospital, I'm just been, there's a big gap. These are the common things that we hear in initial stages. So we reassure them. Now,
Mm-hmm.
OSCE is not about you trying to display your skills the way you have learned it back in Philippines or back in India or wherever, whichever country you come from. It's about being able to present that procedure in a way that is acceptable to Australian nursing. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure Gerard remembers this. On the day one, this is kind of my responsibility to kind of reassure them that if you do not have experience, it's better because you're a clean slate. You can
True.
learn everything the right way. Now, if you have lots of experience, which is the case of many of the students who come from Middle East and stuff like that, they have to unlearn a lot of things that I've learned and learn new things. So Jared
Mm-hmm.
was actually lucky there because it was kind of a blank slate and he could grasp everything. Now we understand the pressure these guys are in, okay? Because when they come from overseas, there's a lot of things riding on their shoulder: the family commitment, the exam tension, the money, being in a new environment, being with strangers, trying to make friends, all those things. So we start off from the initial stages as well. We kind of start providing them with affordable accommodation, which is like taking one kind of heavy thing off their shoulder, which is very close to our lab. Then we offer them 24/7 lab access so that they can come and master their skills how many ever times they want, and they can stay back, which kind of brings their confidence up. And when we teach them the procedures and when their competency is at par, then the confidence comes up with practice. So we kind
Mm-hmm.
of reassure them. We stay there with them,
Mm-hmm.
especially those overseas guys in Gerard's batch and all from Adelaide. We stayed with them and we kind of motivated them in every step. And I always tell them, if you have any problem, talk to me. I mean, I'll be there to listen. I mean, most of the time these guys would want to do is like talk to someone, vent to someone. And me being a mental health nurse, I think they have a very good reception there. I just listen to them and I talk to them. These are the things that we do. And then another thing is we always try to tell the students that don't think that the whole world is riding on your shoulder. Now, this is
True.
just an exam and you're here to perform. We'll make sure that you have everything that you need to ace that exam. Now, anxiety is one thing. And what we do is we kind of split them into different groups so that they're not practicing with their friends most of the time. So that stranger anxiety and that performance anxiety is controlled to a certain extent as well. I'm sure Jared would agree with me on that. He already mentioned that there's another cluster of students, and we cultivate this family mentality there. So one person is there for another person, so one for all and all for one kind of theory. And it goes with our educators as well. We are there for them. So anytime, day or night, if they are in need of something, we are there to give them that assistance. And I know, I mean, especially Pretty and I, there's been days when we were at the lab till like midnight, even 1 o'clock while these guys were practicing, even after mock test. If someone was not doing the right thing, I know Pretty takes the effort to teach them and be with them till they master that procedure. So these are the things that we kind of do. Another thing that what Jared mentioned is the pressure of the time. Because most of these guys coming from overseas, they do not have the funds to stay in Australia for like too long. Maybe 90% of them do not have it. So to accommodate that, we kind of keep the face to face at, you know, a reasonable number of days away so that we know that these many days for face to face, these many days for practice, these many days for mock test. So we give them ample time, but the pressure is on. Now, even this schedule, that was a big thing because APRA announced another center in Melbourne. So what happened was we did two face to face in Sydney, two face to face in Melbourne, two sets of mock in Sydney and Melbourne to accommodate all the students because everybody has a different learning need. You would understand that from being an educator yourself. So not everyone can be served in the same plate. So we kind of accommodate each and every individual student according to their needs, and we try to cater to their needs. I think that's one of the biggest reasons why we have the highest pass rate among OSCE candidates in Australia. And another thing is the educators. I mean, they're all very experienced and they all work as educators. So when they impart those knowledge to these guys, those are working in the Australian health services. So they are imparting those knowledge to these guys. So they're learning it from first-hand experience. That helps them as well. And now, like to accommodate the students' request, we have 2 centers in Sydney and we have 3 centers in Melbourne, so that everybody gets enough space to practice and enough articles and ample time to practice. And to give them a peace of mind, we actually get employers to visit them and talk to them about the opportunities that Australia has for them and the visa possibilities, the permanent residency and stuff like that. These are kind of a motivation for the students. You know, they know that there is a silver lining, there is light at the end of the tunnel. So it's not just dark, it's not just pressure, and it's not just OSCE. So like you guys do the one-stop shop for everything, we try to be that for our students. And we don't treat them as students, we treat them as our NAI babies. So that's a baby. I remember what Gerard told me after the mock test, sir, I will make you proud. That's what he said. I don't know if he remembers that. I have all your messages in my phone. I still have them. So you made me proud. I mean, this is not just Gerard. It's like umpteen number of them. And then as a teacher, you would know that you would remember a few students especially well. And this big fella is one of them. I remember him very well. So when I was, I'll tell you the truth. I drove from Sydney today and I was so tired. But what kept me going was I'm going to meet this guy and I'm going to talk to him. That was one of the motivational factors for me. So students have that impact on us, and we try everything possible to make their pathway smooth, when they connect with us. And when they're coming from you guys, we take it one step ahead because we know that they've already benchmarked your performance. So we have to be at par with your performance, with our guidance and with our services that we provide to your students. Yeah, that's how we motivate them. That's how we try to control their anxiety and help them out, Rachel.
I see. Having holistic guidance is really very important. It's pivotal for the success of the student, because definitely they are there. Sometimes they have families, sometimes they do not have families. So having you guys on their side will be very significant for them to be able to achieve what they want for their career. And you
True.
mentioned also, Georgie, your educators are world class and you are doing really above and beyond, because at the end of the day, all we just want to see is for our students to be able to be successful, because they have invested so much on
True.
this. That is really
Yeah.
what fuels us to do the best that we can do, and we're very committed in what we're doing, because we just want to see them pass, because it's the success
Yeah.
that we are also aiming for. That is our mission as
True.
educators, service providers. So seeing you, Gerard, my co SPCN, I am so, so, so happy for you that you are able to make it on your NCLEX. I'm
Yeah.
so happy for you that you're able to make it in OSCE. Now we understand why people are saying that OSCE is like a bigger challenge, bigger than the NCLEX. Because if you're preparing and you're studying or reviewing for the NCLEX for about 4 hours, now you're telling me that for OSCE preparation, after lunch, it will be until like 2 a.m.,
24 hours. Let's
1
put it
a.m.
that way. It's 24 hours.
So that's really like, ooh, a lot of efforts and commitment coming from the student.
I agree with everything you said. I mean, I couldn't agree more. Anybody can teach, Rachel. It's not a big thing. Anyone can teach. But to teach them with that commitment, with that insight, to see them as RNs in Australia, that's a different thing. When you nurture a talent, you can actually see their future. And if you are committed in what you're doing, that talent will be nurtured the right way. That's what we do in NAI. That's the example of that nurturing, the one that is sitting in front of you, your colleague from St. Padres College.
Mm.
He's going to be a one big shot nurse in Australia now.
Yes. to seeing that license as an RN, AURN, Gerard, sooner. And Georgie, I think that's the reason why we continue our partnership as well, because our values align. We always commit, we always have that big heart for our students because we really want to see them succeed whatever goal that they have in mind. And for this aspect, we want them to see that they will be able to achieve their NCLEX Australia, their OSCE Australia, and be able to become a successful nurse in Australia sooner. So Gerard, before we're going to wrap up our conversation, can you provide probably, oh, before I'm going to ask you with regards to the tip, what can you say with regard to your feedback to NAI? Three things that you'd like to highlight with regards to the assistance that NAI has provided to you.
The first thing is what Georgie said is the commitment. Yeah, so we really feel that commitment from them. They passed that commitment to us, and then we feel really committed to finish strong this OSCE journey. Another thing is the feeling of, aside from the feeling of having a family away from our family, in Adelaide. So we really are very thankful to NAI, because we actually made the laboratory as our second home there. Yeah. So, and last thing is their services to the students that they give. I can say that it is worth the money that you spend or you paid, or more. It's more than the money that you paid, because you will feel that you are really in a good hands. Same with IPASS as well. Yeah, the two, IPASS and the NAI. I am very thankful to those institutions that help me to finish the NCLEX and the OSCE.
We feel also very privileged that you have chosen IPASS and NAI, Nurse Assist International, Gerard, to be your service provider and to be your partner on this success. So, to wrap up our conversation, can you provide three tips or strategies that your co-nurses who are still aspiring to become the next NCLEX Australia Passer or OSCE Australia Passer, what are those strategies or tips that you can probably share to them who are still on this journey?
So for the NCLEX, for me, I think the 2 months is enough, as long as you will finish all the nursing theories, review all the nursing theories. After you reviewed and you're confident enough that you refresh your minds with the nursing theories, next is you have to do the practice exam. Always do the practice exam for at least 1 month, 3 months, 3 weeks to 1 month, until your exam day. That's the thing that I did. 1 month for the nursing theories, video, and then 1 month for the practice exam, and then exam day. So for the OSCE, what I did was, before you will do your face-to-face, you have to already know all the skills. You have to watch the videos online on the Moodle, and then you have to write your personal script so that you will understand personally the each skills that you will do. And then after that, you have to read it again and again, but just don't memorize yet. Don't memorize. Wait until you will have your face-to-face, just to familiarize. Why? It's because there are changes during the face-to-face, or not changes, but add-ons, additions, which are very important, that you really to include those inputs that NAI will give to you during the face-to-face. And then after that, you will now have your final study materials, or the script, or this for each skills. And then that's the time that after the face-to-face until your exam, you have to practice every day. Okay, you have to practice every day. That's the thing that I said to other nurses that asked me, so how to practice or that. So I told them that you have to focus your OSCE review as much as possible, that you will give all your time just to this OSCE review until the exam, so that you will not have any regrets. Because during our time in Adelaide, from face to face to practice days until the exam, the only thing that we are in rest is when we are sleeping, way back when we go back to our apartment. And then after that, you will go back to the lab again to do the practice. Okay, so if there is a time that we are planning to go outside, just to relax, there is the feeling of guilt that We don't need to do this because we're not yet finished with our mission here. But having some time to relax is also healthy. But please do put in mind that your purpose is to pass the OSCE. My point is you have to focus yourself and then put time to practice, review, and then all the things that NAI will teach you, you have to follow them. And then the rest will become history.
Thank you for sharing those tips and strategies, Gerard. I think one of the common denominators with regard to the preparation of the NCLEX and even in OSCE is first the mastery of concept. And then
Yeah.
the second thing is the mastery of skill, because in NCLEX you will be tested with the concept, your foundation. Also you have to incorporate a mastery with regards to your Q bank. On in your OSCE, it's really like a return demonstration. We will be
Yes.
taken we will be brought back to our experience in the college days during our second year or third year that we have to do the return demonstration. So you have to be able to practice those skill well and be able to present yourself in a way that you come there relax,
Yeah.
naturally
Yes.
performing the things based on what the educators coming from NAI has taught you. So Gerard, lastly, anyone that you would like to thank coming from IPASS and coming from NAI?
All of you, because just like on a goal, I mean, on a team play, each personnel from IPASS, each personnel from NAI did their job well, and then each department, when you add that small jobs, but when all of the personnel will do their job very well, yeah. So the result will be your goal, which is positive result, passing rate from the students, all of the IPASS and all of the NAI team. Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you for hearing those gratitude message coming from you, Sir Gerard. Also, we are really, very thankful because we're able to achieve our goal to make you succeed on your goal.
True.
That is our
True.
mission. Georgie, do you want to have a closing remarks before we're going to end our discussion?
I just want to say one thing to whoever is watching us or listening to us at this moment. There is no dream that is not achievable. If you really, really want your dreams to come true, there is a way you can do it. Hard work, there is no alternative for that. You have to do your own hard work. Then choose the right guidance. There are a lot of things that you would hear about. Oh, maybe you can learn things online. Maybe you do not need face to face, all those things. But from my honest opinion, if I were a student, if I were to take OSCE, I would go to a review center. I would want to attend face to face. I would want to have my online access to resources, videos, and I would want to have a lab where I can practice my clinical skills. Clinical skills don't come from watching things online. You have to get your hands dirty. Now, for those who are aspiring nurses coming over to Australia, all the best and good luck with your search. And just focus on what you want, just like Jared did, and pray hard, and he will show you the sign when to do what. Jared, once again, I'm so proud of you. Thank you. Thank you so much for being one of the best. And you're such a good storyteller. And I wish you all the best. And I hope that you'll be very happy in Australia with your wife and your kids, with your T-Rexes, like you put it. And thank you so much, Rachel and NAI, for giving me this opportunity to speak to Gerard and speak to you guys. It's an absolute honor to be working with IPASS. It's an absolute honor. It's from my heart. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much also, Georgie, for guiding and assisting our students whom we are endorsing to you. It's really a pleasure and an honor for us to be able to be in partnership with you, because we know that once we're going to endorse our students to you, you are going to take good care of our students. And I know that they will be very successful with regards to their goal in passing the OSCE. So guys, if ever that you are watching us, I know that you are inspired and motivated with the story of Gerard. You know, he doesn't have any experience, clinical experience, but see, he was able to make it. So if you're watching now and you don't have any experience, don't be afraid about it. We are here to guide you. If you need assistance for your NCLEX application and NCLEX honor review program, we have that. in IPASS Processing and IPASS on Review and Mentoring Academy. And if you need assistance for your OSCE review, we have the Nurse Assist International, who can be your best partner for you to be able to succeed on your OSCE goal. So thank you, everyone.
IPASS processing